10 Things You Should Quietly Eliminate from Your Life, a Stoic Guide to Inner Peace and Growth. In today's fast-paced world, we're constantly chasing after more success, more recognition, more possessions. The pressure to keep you up can leave us feeling anxious, distracted, and disconnected from what truly matters. But what if the key to peace and fulfillment isn't about adding more to our lives, but quietly letting go of what no longer serves us? In this video, we'll explore 10 things you should quietly eliminate from your life to live more intentionally and peacefully. These aren't grand, dramatic changes, but small, thoughtful shifts that can transform your outlook and well-being. Whether it's letting go of unrealistic expectations, releasing toxic relationships, or quieting the inner critic, each step will help you reclaim your inner peace. This is your invitation to create space for what truly matters: authenticity, purpose, and happiness. So let's begin this journey of simplicity and growth together. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Let's start eliminating the distractions and embrace a life of clarity and calm. Number 1. Fear of others' opinions. Fear of others' opinions is a silent but powerful obstacle that often keeps us from living authentically and making decisions that truly reflect our values. It sneaks into our minds, planting seeds of doubt, and urging us to conform, hold back, or quiet our true selves to avoid judgment, rejection, or ridicule. Yet, here's a liberating truth. Most people are far too preoccupied with their own lives to analyze ours as critically as we fear. The judgment we dread is often exaggerated in our minds, amplified by our insecurities. Stoicism provides a timeless solution to this fear, reminding us of a crucial distinction. We cannot control how others see us. We can only control how we respond to their perceptions. This simple but profound insight has the power to shift our focus and give us the courage to act from a place of authenticity rather than fear. When you find yourself hesitating or holding back, ask a simple but transformative question. Am I acting out of fear of judgment, or am I honoring my values? The answer to that question can be a guiding light, steering you toward a life of integrity and self-respect. Imagine a professional scenario. Perhaps you're in a meeting with an idea that could add value to the discussion, but you hesitate, worried that others might dismiss it or criticize you. In that moment, you're at a crossroads. Allow fear to govern your actions, or choose courage and authenticity. By speaking up, you not only share your idea, but also reinforce your belief in your own voice. Each time you push past such fears, you weaken the grip of external validation on your life and strengthen your sense of inner peace. Over time, this practice builds a deeper confidence and a more resilient self, rooted not in the opinions of others, but in your own sense of purpose and worth. Consider the story of Emma, a talented young artist with a unique style of painting, bold and unconventional portraits. Her work is striking, but for years she kept her art hidden, consumed by the fear of how critics or even friends might react. She worried they wouldn't understand her vision, and that fear held her back from sharing her passion with the world. One day, Emma stumbled across a Stoic teaching that changed everything. Focus only on what you can control. It was a revelation. She realized her role as an artist wasn't to manage others' opinions, but to create with honesty and dedication. With this newfound clarity, she mustered the courage to organize her first exhibition. Her boldness paid off. Her art not only resonated with many, but also brought her a deep sense of fulfillment. What mattered most, Emma discovered, was the joy of staying true to herself and her craft, free from the weight of others' expectations. Her story is a reminder that when we embrace authenticity, we inspire others to do the same, creating ripples of courage and positivity. Now let me ask you, how often do you let the fear of judgment hold you back from speaking your truth or pursuing your dreams? How much of your energy is spent worrying about opinions you can never control? The Stoic, Secret lies in redirecting that energy to what truly matters: your actions, your choices, and your growth. When you release the weight of others' expectations, you reclaim your freedom and create space for genuine confidence and peace. As you move forward, remember that your worth is not determined by external approval, but by the integrity with which you live your life. By letting go of the fear of judgment, you open the door to pursue your values unapologetically, allowing the noise of judgment to fade and making room for the quiet power of living authentically. Number 2. Toxic relationships. Toxic relationships often embed themselves into our lives so subtly that we fail to recognize the toll they take until the damage is done. These relationships quietly drain our energy, undermine our self-esteem, and prevent us from moving forward. What makes them particularly insidious is their subtle nature. They can manifest as persistent criticism disguised as advice, manipulation cloaked in care, or emotional withdrawal that leaves us feeling unworthy. Over time, these behaviors erode our confidence and sense of self. The Stoics caution us to be mindful of the company we keep, emphasizing how deeply our relationships influence our thoughts, actions, and overall well-being. Seneca's wisdom resonates here. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. This timeless advice highlights the reciprocal nature of healthy relationships, ones where mutual growth and encouragement thrive. Consider the example of a friend or colleague who habitually dismisses your achievements or belittles your ideas, often masking their behavior under the pretense of humor or blunt honesty. While such interactions might seem trivial at first, their cumulative effect can create a toxic environment that fosters doubt and stagnation. Modern Stoicism urges us to develop self-awareness and recognize these patterns. This awareness is the first step in reclaiming our peace and protecting our energy. It reminds us that we have the power to define our boundaries and curate relationships that nurture our growth, rather than hinder it. Distancing yourself from toxic relationships doesn't require dramatic confrontations or emotional declarations. Instead, it is an intentional process of quietly prioritizing your well-being. Setting boundaries is a subtle yet powerful act of self-respect. It signals your commitment to preserving your emotional and mental health while avoiding unnecessary conflict. By stepping away from negativity, you make room for relationships that uplift and inspire you. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's easy to mistake endurance for loyalty. However, the Stoic principle of valuing inner tranquility above the fleeting need for approval teaches us that true courage lies in walking away from connections that no longer serve our well-being. As you make the difficult decision to let go of harmful ties, reflect on the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. The people in our lives greatly influence those thoughts, shaping how we view ourselves and the world. Surrounding yourself with individuals who foster positivity and growth is a conscious step toward creating a fulfilling and purposeful life. Letting go of toxic relationships isn't about selfishness. It's about understanding that your emotional health is foundational to your ability to contribute meaningfully to the lives of others and to your own happiness. In the context of modern Stoicism, where self-improvement is both an ongoing journey and a discipline, we are called to face our relationships with honesty and courage. The people who challenge us to grow, encourage our potential, and align with our values are the ones worth keeping close. Meanwhile, those who hinder our peace and drain our energy must be released, not with resentment but with quiet resolve. This process of elimination is not merely about letting go. It is about making a profound commitment to the life you are building. By choosing to prioritize your inner peace, you align yourself with the wisdom of the Stoics and open the door to relationships and opportunities that genuinely support your journey toward growth and fulfillment. Number 3. Destructive habits. Our habits are the unseen architects of our lives, quietly shaping the structure of our days and laying the foundation for our future. While some habits support our well-being and growth, others act like silent saboteurs. Destructive habits, whether it's procrastination, excessive screen time, unhealthy eating, or even overindulgence in negative thought patterns, can erode the quality of our lives without us realizing their full impact. These habits often operate in the background, repeating themselves daily, subtly tightening their grip on our time, energy, and potential. Before we know it, they begin to dictate our choices, holding us back from living intentionally and with purpose. As Epictetus wisely observed, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This profound Stoic truth reminds us that true freedom comes from mastery over our impulses, not from being ruled by them. Modern Stoicism teaches us that we are not prisoners of our habits. Instead, we have the power to reclaim control by living deliberately, guided by reason and virtue. To begin breaking free from destructive patterns, start with self-awareness.
Identify one habit that no longer serves you, perhaps a behavior that leaves you feeling drained, distracted, or dissatisfied. For example, if late-night social media scrolling robs you of restful sleep and peace of mind, take small, intentional
steps to replace it with something that nourishes your well-being. Instead of aimlessly scrolling, try setting a boundary, like turning off your phone an hour before bed, and replacing that time with reading a book that uplifts you or journaling your reflections for the day. These small acts, though they may seem insignificant in the moment, can lead to profound, positive changes over time. The beauty of habit transformation lies in the Stoic focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is neither realistic nor necessary. What matters is the commitment to steady improvement. Each time we replace a harmful habit with a healthier alternative, we honor the Stoic principle of living in harmony with reason and virtue. Over time, these choices create a ripple effect, building self-discipline, fostering self-respect, and opening the door to personal growth. Destructive habits thrive in the shadows of inattention. By shining a light on them through conscious awareness and deliberate action, we can reshape or eliminate them entirely. This process may require patience and effort, but as Seneca wisely said, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." As you evaluate your daily routines, ask yourself a powerful question. Do my habits align with the person I wish to become? This question serves as a compass, pointing you toward actions that reflect your values and aspirations. By answering honestly and taking intentional steps, you empower yourself to live with greater purpose and clarity. Remember, even the smallest changes in our habits, when practiced consistently, can lead to extraordinary transformations in our lives. In this fast-paced modern world, distractions are everywhere, and it's easy to fall into patterns of mindlessness. Yet modern Stoicism calls us to rise above the noise, recognize the hold that destructive habits have over us, and take action to free ourselves. By doing so, we reclaim our energy, focus, and potential, channeling them into pursuits that truly matter. In breaking the cycle of mindless habits and cultivating deliberate ones, we embody the Stoic ideal of a life lived with intention, reason, and virtue, paving the way for a future filled with meaning and fulfillment. Number 4. The need to control everything. The need to control everything is a trap that many of us fall into, often without realizing how much it weighs us down. It manifests in our careers, where we tirelessly try to dictate every outcome, or in our relationships, where we attempt to shape how others feel or behave. This constant battle to control life can feel like swimming against a relentless tide, leaving us overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, and frustration. The harder we push against life's natural uncertainties, the more resistance we encounter, and the less peace we find. Stoic secrets provide a timeless solution. True peace doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from learning to accept what is beyond our influence and focusing on what we can change. This mindset isn't about giving up. It's about shifting our energy toward what truly matters, our own actions, choices, and responses. With this perspective, we liberate ourselves from unnecessary suffering and discover a calmer, more grounded way to live. Picture a common scenario. You're stuck in a traffic jam on your way to an important meeting, watching the clock tick away as frustration builds. You feel the urge to honk, curse, or obsessively check the time, but none of those actions will clear the road or make the cars ahead of you move faster. What you can control is your reaction. Instead of letting anger consume you, you could take a deep breath, turn on a calming playlist, or use the moment to plan your opening remarks for the meeting. By choosing calm over chaos, you reclaim your mental energy and approach the situation with clarity. This small but profound shift in perspective demonstrates how much power lies in controlling our internal state, rather than external circumstances. Take the story of Ryan, a small business owner who once tried to control every detail of his company's operations. He micromanaged his employees, stressed over unpredictable market trends, and obsessed over customer decisions he couldn't influence. This approach left him burned out, perpetually worried, and disconnected from his own success. One day, a friend introduced him to Stoic teachings, specifically the idea of focusing only on what is within our power and letting go of the rest. For Ryan, this was life-changing. He realized he could control his own effort, attitude, and leadership, but he couldn't force market conditions to favor him, or dictate how customers would behave. Embracing this wisdom, Ryan began delegating tasks to his team, trusting their abilities and letting go of the outcomes he couldn't control. The result was not only a healthier mindset, but also a thriving business. By creating a more adaptable and empowered work environment, Ryan achieved more by worrying less. Now reflect on your own life. How much energy do you spend worrying about things you cannot change? How often do you try to control external events only to feel drained and disheartened when they don't go your way? The Stoic approach reminds us that freedom begins when we redirect that energy toward improving our own thoughts and actions. Life's unpredictability is not a problem to be fixed, but a reality to be embraced. When we stop resisting uncertainty and start trusting in our ability to adapt, we open ourselves to a life of greater peace and clarity. By releasing the illusion of control, we find the strength to respond to challenges thoughtfully and effectively. This is one of the most profound Stoic secrets. Peace doesn't come from controlling life, but from living in harmony with its unpredictability. When we let go of what we cannot control, we create space for calm, resilience, and inner growth. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, pause and ask yourself, what can I control in this moment? The answer might just transform how you navigate the chaos, allowing you to find serenity amid life's inevitable uncertainties. To engage with our community, we want to hear from you. Comment "I embrace change" below if you're ready to break free from destructive habits and take control of your life. Your participation helps us build a supportive, respectful community where we can all grow together. Let's inspire each other to recognize and transform those habits that hold us back, and to replace them with actions that bring us closer to the life we truly desire. Your commitment to growth matters, and we're here to support each other every step of the way. Share your journey with us and let's walk this path of self-improvement together. Number 5. Unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations are a silent force that can destabilize our emotional health, whether we aim them at ourselves, others, or the results of our endeavors. These expectations often sneak in subtly, promising fulfillment but instead planting seeds of dissatisfaction and frustration. They trap us in a cycle where reality's imperfections collide with unattainable ideals, leaving us disappointed and questioning our abilities. Modern Stoicism offers a path forward by urging us to embrace the natural imperfections of life and to ground our expectations in what is practical and attainable. As Epictetus wisely observed, man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. This insight challenges us to examine whether our frustrations stem from actual circumstances or from an unrealistic picture we've painted in our minds. In the modern world, where instant gratification is often the norm, it's easy to fall prey to the notion that success should come swiftly and flawlessly. Whether it's mastering a new skill, achieving career milestones, or building meaningful relationships, the pressure for perfection and speed can be overwhelming. Take, for instance, someone starting a fitness journey with the expectation of immediate, dramatic results. When the progress turns out to be slower than anticipated, frustration can quickly overshadow their efforts, and they might abandon their goals altogether. The Stoics, however, teach us to view these moments differently. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. By focusing on what we can control, our commitment, our effort, and our response to challenges, we free ourselves from the tyranny of unrealistic expectations and foster a mindset of resilience and patience. When we tether ourselves to rigid ideals, we create unnecessary suffering. These unyielding expectations not only amplify stress, but also blind us to the beauty of incremental progress and the lessons found in setbacks. Releasing ourselves from these self-imposed chains allows us to accept life in all its unpredictability and imperfections. This doesn't mean abandoning ambition. Instead, it's about pursuing our goals with flexibility and an openness to the journey's natural ebb and flow. For example, an artist who fixates on creating a masterpiece may miss the joy of experimenting and learning through trial and error. Modern Stoicism encourages us to take a step back and appreciate the process, understanding that fulfillment comes not from a flawless end result, but from the dedication and growth experienced along the way. Moreover, letting go of unrealistic expectations fosters humility, teaching us that we are not in control of every variable. External factors, the actions of others, and the unpredictability of life all play a role in shaping outcomes. Recognizing this can be liberating. It allows us to focus our energy on what truly matters, our attitude, effort, and perseverance. As we release our grip on perfection, we find that life becomes less about rigidly achieving specific goals and more about embracing the richness of the experience itself. This shift in perspective not only brings peace, but also enhances our ability to adapt to life's inevitable twists and turns. By adopting the principles of modern Stoicism, we develop the capacity to set realistic expectations that honor both our aspirations and life's inherent uncertainties. Progress is no longer measured solely by outcomes, but also by the effort, patience, and growth we demonstrate along the way. In this approach, setbacks are reframed as opportunities to build resilience and deepen our understanding of ourselves. The act of letting go of perfection is not a surrender, but a profound commitment to living with purpose and clarity. As you navigate your own path, remember that success is not defined by flawlessness or speed, but by your dedication to growth, your ability to adapt, and your willingness to find value in every step of the journey. By focusing on what is within your control and letting go of unrealistic demands, you open the door to a more peaceful, fulfilling life, one guided by wisdom, patience, and a deep appreciation for the process. Number 6. Letting go of the need to always be right. The persistent need to always be right is a heavy burden that silently drains our emotional energy and damages our relationships. While the desire to assert our knowledge or authority often stems from pride or an unconscious need for validation, its consequences are far from constructive. Instead of fostering understanding, this mindset fuels unnecessary conflict, tension, and strained connections. Imagine a simple disagreement with a colleague over a minor issue. Proving your point may provide a fleeting sense of victory, but it can leave behind resentment, erode trust, and create an unspoken divide. Modern Stoicism reminds us that true strength doesn't come from dominating a conversation or emerging victorious in an argument, but from prioritizing harmony and mutual understanding. As Epictetus wisely said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows," urging us to approach every discussion with humility and openness. For that is where personal growth begins. Letting go of the need to be right starts with a deliberate shift in mindset, one rooted in humility. This means accepting that no single person has a monopoly on truth, and recognizing the validity of other perspectives. By cultivating this humility, you allow space for respect and constructive dialogue to flourish. Additionally, learning to choose your battles wisely is a vital skill. Not every disagreement is worth your energy, especially when the stakes are low or the topic inconsequential. Before engaging, ask yourself whether winning the argument will genuinely improve the situation or merely serve to inflate your ego. Often the most meaningful resolution lies not in proving yourself right, but in finding common ground, fostering understanding, and preserving the relationship. Effective communication during disagreements also relies on the art of active listening. This involves giving others your full attention without planning a rebuttal or interrupting, which demonstrates respect for their thoughts and feelings. When you listen actively, you build trust, show that their perspective matters, and create a foundation for collaboration. Pair this with empathy by putting yourself in the other person's shoes, seeking to understand their motivations and emotions. This approach not only diffuses tension, but also creates opportunities for connection and compromise. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul." These wise words encourage us to choose peace over conflict and avoid entangling ourselves in debates that serve no higher purpose. Another key to relinquishing the need to always be right is to let go of the false belief that external validation defines your self-worth. Often, the drive to assert correctness stems from a deeper desire for approval or recognition. However, modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and character, rather than the opinions of others. True confidence comes from within and is cultivated through self-awareness and alignment with one's values, not from winning arguments or being acknowledged as right. By releasing the need for validation, you foster emotional resilience and create space for authentic connections to flourish. In moments of conflict, aim to resolve differences by prioritizing understanding over victory. Not every disagreement requires resolution through concession or agreement. Sometimes the wisest choice is to agree to disagree. Recognize that harmony in relationships often carries far more value than the fleeting satisfaction of winning an argument. This mindset strengthens bonds, reduces unnecessary stress, and creates an environment where growth and collaboration can thrive. Letting go of the need to always be right aligns beautifully with the principles of modern Stoicism. It calls for humility, patience, and an unwavering focus on what truly matters: growth, understanding, and connection. By choosing to embrace empathy and collaboration over ego-driven debates, you free yourself from the emotional weight of proving your point and cultivate a life of purpose, peace, and stronger relationships. This simple but profound shift opens the door to a more compassionate and harmonious existence, one rooted in the Stoic values of reason and virtue. Number 7. Silencing the digital noise. In today's hyper-connected world, digital noise is one of the most common challenges to inner peace and focus. The constant stream of notifications, messages, and endless scrolling can leave you feeling mentally exhausted and constantly distracted, stealing time and energy that could be spent on things that really matter. Imagine sitting down to work on a meaningful project, only to be interrupted by the ping of a notification or the temptation to quickly check social media, which ends up becoming a 30-minute distraction. These moments add up, pulling us away from our goals and creating a sense of mental clutter. To combat this, the wisdom of Stoic secrets reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This timeless lesson teaches us that while we can't eliminate all distractions, we can control how we respond to them and the boundaries we set with our devices. Start by decluttering your digital environment, much like you would tidy up a physical space. Unfollow accounts that no longer serve your interests or align with your values, and turn off non-essential notifications to minimize interruptions. Set clear boundaries with technology by designating tech-free zones or times in your day, such as during meals before bed, or when working on tasks that require deep focus. Features like Do Not Disturb or app blockers can help you create intentional, uninterrupted time for productivity or relaxation. Engaging in offline activities, journaling, meditating, or taking a walk, helps nourish your spirit and recalibrate your energy in ways that screens cannot. Let me share a story about Anna, a college student who found herself perpetually overwhelmed by the demands of social media. She spent hours scrolling through updates, comparing herself to others, and chasing the dopamine hits of likes and comments. Despite her time online, she felt more disconnected than ever from her goals and relationships. One day, inspired by the idea of focusing only on what she could control, Anna decided to simplify her digital life. She started small, turning off notifications for non-essential apps, deleting those that no longer served her, and setting time limits for social media use. She also introduced tech-free mornings, using the first hour of her day to journal and plan rather than diving into her phone. The changes were subtle at first, but soon Anna noticed she felt more focused and present. Her productivity improved, her stress decreased, and her relationships deepened because she was giving her attention to the people and projects that truly mattered. Now, consider your own relationship with technology. How often do you find yourself reflexively reaching for your phone or getting lost in a digital rabbit hole? What could you accomplish if you reclaimed even half of the time spent on unproductive digital distractions? By applying Stoic principles, you can develop a healthier relationship with technology, one that aligns with your values and supports your growth. This doesn't mean abandoning digital tools altogether. It means using them mindfully and intentionally. Set specific times to check emails or social media rather than being at the mercy of every alert. Emphasize quality over quantity in your digital interactions, prioritizing meaningful connections over endless scrolling. The key lesson here is that you have the power to design your digital environment in a way that fosters focus, peace, and intentionality. Small, consistent changes, like curating your online space, setting boundaries, and embracing offline moments, can have a profound impact on your well-being. By silencing the digital noise, you create room to focus on what truly matters, freeing yourself from the stress of constant engagement and reclaiming your energy for the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. This is one of the most liberating Stoic secrets. You cannot control the digital world, but you can control how it influences your life. Number 8. Negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are like shadows that obscure our perspective, cloud our judgment, and drain the motivation needed to overcome life's challenges. When we tell ourselves, "I can't do this," before even attempting a task, we impose limits on our potential, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. Modern Stoicism teaches us that our thoughts shape our reality, reminding us, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This wisdom encourages us to cultivate a mindset that focuses on possibilities and solutions rather than being consumed by doubt and defeat. Reframing negative thinking takes intentional effort, but it is an essential step toward reclaiming your inner peace and building a life of resilience and growth. One powerful antidote to negative thinking is gratitude, which shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Practicing gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as acknowledging small moments of joy or the people who bring light to your life. For instance, reflecting on the support of loved ones or the progress you've made, no matter how small, can transform your outlook. Mindfulness is another key practice that helps us become aware of negative self-talk and stop it in its tracks. By observing our thoughts without judgment, we can identify patterns of criticism and replace them with constructive reflections. Instead of "I failed," consider asking, "What can I learn from this experience?" This shift not only reduces the sting of setbacks but also empowers you to grow through adversity. The company you keep plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether they are supportive, friends, uplifting media, or inspiring mentors, can help counteract the effects of negativity. Activities that reinforce self-worth, such as learning a new skill, engaging in hobbies, or celebrating small achievements, also contribute to building a more optimistic perspective. Small victories, no matter how minor they seem, create momentum and reinforce your confidence in handling larger challenges. Incorporating affirmations into your daily routine is another effective way to counteract negative thoughts. Repeating statements like, "I am capable," or "I am learning and growing every day," can gradually reprogram your mind to focus on your strengths rather than your shortcomings. Difficult situations often carry hidden lessons, but we must approach them with a mindset ready to extract value from the experience. Reflecting on failures and asking what they have taught you transforms obstacles into stepping stones for personal development. For example, missing a career opportunity might teach you the importance of preparation or resilience, lessons that can serve you well in future endeavors. Modern Stoicism emphasizes the importance of maintaining perspective, urging us to focus on what we can control, our response to situations, rather than dwelling on uncontrollable outcomes. Over time, this practice strengthens your mental fortitude and shifts your internal narrative from one of self-doubt to one of optimism and perseverance. By consciously addressing and reframing negative thoughts, you free yourself from the constraints they impose on your potential. This transformation isn't an overnight process, but a journey of consistent effort and self-compassion. Celebrate the progress you make, no matter how incremental, and remember that every small step forward is a testament to your resilience. As you cultivate a more constructive and empowering mindset, you align yourself with the principles of modern Stoicism, creating a foundation for inner peace and growth. In this journey, your thoughts become your allies, and your challenges become opportunities to thrive. You've just taken a significant step on the path to mastering your thoughts and unlocking your true potential. We'd love to hear how you're applying these Stoic principles in your life. Share your progress in the comments below with this slogan, "Thoughts shape my reality." By commenting, you're reinforcing your commitment to a positive mindset and personal growth. Keep moving forward. Every small step counts. We're here to support your journey. Number 9. Physical and mental clutter. Clutter, whether physical or mental, acts as a silent but powerful disruptor in our lives, creating unnecessary stress and distraction. A cluttered workspace, for instance, isn't just an eyesore. It can make it difficult to focus, to think clearly, and to perform at our best. This feeling of disarray extends beyond the tangible. A cluttered mind, full of worries, unresolved thoughts, and distractions, compounds this sense of chaos, preventing us from fully engaging in the present moment. In today's fast-paced world, both types of clutter drain our energy and prevent us from living with intention and purpose. Modern Stoicism reminds us of the fleeting nature of time. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it, said Seneca. This quote serves as a reminder that time, like space, is limited and valuable. To achieve clarity in both body and mind, we must first create order. By simplifying our environment, we reduce the distractions that pull our attention away from what truly matters. Start by decluttering your physical space. Clear off that desk, remove unnecessary items, and create a setting that promotes focus and productivity. When we take the time to organize our surroundings, we signal to ourselves that we are ready to engage with life in a more focused and intentional way. But the process of decluttering doesn't end with the physical realm. Mental clarity follows physical organization. One way to achieve this is through journaling. Writing down our thoughts, frustrations, or even ideas for the future can act as a release valve for our minds. It allows us to process emotions and gain perspective, helping to clear away the mental fog that accumulates over time. As you go through your day, you might feel the pressure of countless tasks pulling at you. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things to do. One way to combat this is by prioritizing tasks and breaking larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps. This simple act of breaking down complex projects creates space in your mind, allowing you to focus on one thing at a time rather than being paralyzed by everything that needs to be done. Beyond task management, finding ways to refresh your mind is key to avoiding burnout. Meditation or deep breathing exercises can help create mental space, grounding you in the present moment. In our digital age, the constant influx of information can be especially overwhelming. Taking periodic digital detoxes, whether it's turning off notifications, setting aside time away from screens, or simply stepping outside to get some fresh air, helps us regain mental clarity and peace. This simple practice allows us to step back, breathe, and reconnect with our values and priorities. Just as we routinely declutter our physical spaces, we must also reflect regularly on the mental and emotional clutter we carry. Are there unresolved thoughts, old grudges, or excessive concerns that no longer serve us? Are there mental habits or worries we can let go of to make room for more meaningful pursuits? Reflecting on these aspects and choosing to release them can create profound mental space for personal growth. In essence, we are not only clearing out our homes but also our minds. Letting go of what no longer serves us, both physically and mentally, allows us to focus on what truly enriches our lives. By cultivating a life free from excess and distractions, we create an environment that nurtures inner peace, productivity, and growth. This process aligns with the teachings of modern Stoicism, where the emphasis is placed on living with purpose, on choosing clarity over confusion, and on maintaining an environment that reflects the values we hold dear. By applying these principles to both our physical and mental spaces, we make room for what truly matters in our lives. Number 10. Unnecessary comparisons. In a world where social media amplifies the successes and highlights of others, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to those around us. Whether it's a friend's vacation photos, a colleague's promotion, or a stranger's polished life online, these constant comparisons can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. But here's the thing. Stoic secrets teach us that comparing ourselves to others only diverts our attention from what truly matters, our own journey. Instead of looking at someone else's path and measuring your own against it, why not focus on your own growth, progress, and achievements? Ask yourself, how often do you measure your worth by someone else's standards? What would change if you started measuring it by your own growth and unique path? Think about it. If you spend all your energy comparing your life to others, you miss the opportunity to fully appreciate what you have. One powerful Stoic principle is the practice of gratitude, which shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. By appreciating your own journey, you start to see all the blessings and opportunities you already have. Gratitude doesn't just help you feel better, it also keeps your mind grounded in the present moment, reducing feelings of envy or insecurity. A great way to begin is by limiting your exposure to sources that trigger these negative comparisons. Like certain social media accounts, unfollow those who make you feel less than, and instead focus on accounts or people who uplift and inspire you. When you fill your life with positivity, the comparison game becomes irrelevant. Let me share the story of Marcus, a young entrepreneur who was constantly comparing himself to others in his field. He'd scroll through Instagram, seeing other business owners flaunting their success, and each time he'd feel like he wasn't doing enough. But one day, after reading a passage from Marcus Aurelius, he had a breakthrough. The Stoic sage reminded him that the only comparison that matters is the one between where you are now and where you were yesterday. Marcus decided to stop comparing his progress to others and started measuring it against his own growth. He began reflecting on his milestones, no matter how small, and celebrating them. Slowly but surely, his anxiety and self-doubt faded. He learned that success is deeply personal, and the path is as unique as the person walking it. Marcus also realized that everyone faces challenges along the way, even if they aren't visible on social media. This change in perspective not only increased his confidence, but also fueled his motivation to continue improving and striving for his own definition of success. Now let me ask you, how often do you catch yourself comparing your achievements to someone else's? What would it feel like to stop competing and start collaborating with others? By shifting your mindset from comparison to collaboration, you begin to see that we can all learn from each other, rather than constantly measuring ourselves against others. Look for role models who inspire you rather than intimidate you, and let their success motivate you to forge your own path. Success is not a one-size-fits-all formula, and it's essential to recognize that your journey is just as valid as anyone else's. You're allowed to take pride in your progress, no matter how small the steps may seem. By focusing on your own growth, celebrating your unique path, and practicing gratitude, you begin to escape the trap of unnecessary comparisons. This shift in focus frees you from the cycle of envy and dissatisfaction, and instead fosters a sense of contentment and inner peace. As the Stoic wisdom reminds us, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. This journey is yours and yours alone, and it's a process of continual learning and growth. When you embrace your individuality and trust in your own path, you cultivate lasting confidence and happiness, and you no longer need to measure yourself against others. You can walk your own journey with pride, knowing that each step forward is a victory in itself. This, in essence, is one of the most powerful Stoic secrets. That true peace and contentment come not from comparing yourself to others, but from embracing your unique path and the growth that comes with it. Enhance your inner peace and growth. Number 1. Mindfulness and presence. In today's fast-paced, distraction-filled world, mindfulness stands out as a crucial practice for achieving inner peace and fostering personal growth. Mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in the moment without distractions, serves as an antidote to the overwhelming noise that surrounds us. As Epictetus wisely put it, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This Stoic wisdom reminds us that peace arises when we focus on the present and limit our concerns to what truly matters. In a world where constant notifications, busy schedules, and endless to-do lists can easily overwhelm us, mindfulness offers a much-needed refuge. Take, for example, the simple act of eating. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through your phone, engage fully with the meal. Pay attention to the textures, the flavors, and the aromas. By being present, you reconnect with the moment and experience life with greater clarity and peace. Mindfulness is more than just a technique. It's a lifestyle that helps us leave behind the burdens of past regrets and future anxieties. By focusing on what we can control in the present, our thoughts and actions, we learn to navigate life's challenges with a calm, clear mind. Marcus Aurelius, a key Stoic figure, taught us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This principle encourages us to respond to challenges with intention, rather than reacting impulsively due to stress or fear. Through consistent mindfulness practice, we begin to appreciate the beauty in simple moments, whether it's engaging in conversation, walking in nature, or completing a task. This practice builds mental clarity, emotional resilience, and a deep sense of inner peace. In today's world, where everything seems to demand our attention, mindfulness can seem almost counterintuitive. Yet, its benefits are profound. It reduces stress, enhances focus, and enables us to engage more deeply with life. When we are fully present in each moment, we learn to appreciate life's smallest experiences, which often bring the greatest value. Whether we're talking to a loved one or working on a project, mindfulness helps us build stronger connections, increase productivity, and find greater satisfaction. In practical terms, this might involve setting boundaries with technology, taking time to reflect, or simply practicing deep breathing when life feels overwhelming. The shift may seem subtle, but its impact on our mental, emotional, and physical well-being is immeasurable. Furthermore, mindfulness teaches us to embrace life's imperfections. It reminds us that happiness doesn't depend on a perfect future or a flawless version of ourselves. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we open ourselves to life's possibilities even in moments of chaos. This aligns with Stoic principles that encourage us to live in harmony with nature, accepting that everything, our emotions, experiences, and circumstances, is transient. Through mindfulness, we see each moment as an opportunity for growth and understanding, helping us navigate life's challenges with a calm and steady heart. Incorporating mindfulness into daily life doesn't require a complete overhaul, but rather a subtle shift in how we approach each moment. The next time you feel stressed or distracted, pause, breathe deeply, and refocus your attention on the present. By doing so, you embrace the core tenets of modern Stoicism, fostering a life of tranquility, clarity, and purpose. Mindfulness is a timeless practice that helps us navigate today's complexities with wisdom, patience, and resilience. In the present moment, we find peace, and in that peace, we create the foundation for a life full of growth, fulfillment, and meaning. Number 2, building emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is crucial for navigating life's inevitable challenges and maintaining inner peace. It's the ability to stay grounded and composed despite adversity, a trait that defines the quality of our lives. Modern Stoicism teaches that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control our reactions. Challenges like setbacks, criticism, or failure are inevitable, but they don't need to derail us. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every challenge offers a chance for growth if we approach it with the right mindset. To build emotional resilience, we must first accept that life is unpredictable and full of difficulties. Stoicism teaches that suffering arises not from challenges, but from our attachment to how things should be. Life doesn't always go as planned, and expectations often lead to disappointment. True strength comes from accepting life's uncertainty and controlling how we respond to it. When faced with criticism, for example, instead of becoming defensive, we can use it as an opportunity to learn. This shift in perspective requires humility, but leads to growth, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Resilience also depends on recognizing our power over our reactions. It's natural to feel upset or frustrated when things don't go our way, but Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control our initial emotional response, we can control how we act on it. As Epictetus said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Our fear is often magnified by our thoughts, not the situation itself. By detaching from our immediate emotional reactions, we create space for a more rational and measured response. A strong sense of purpose and alignment with our inner values also bolster emotional resilience. When we know what truly matters to us, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by external circumstances. Stoics focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, rather than seeking validation from outside sources. This focus on the internal fosters a steady, resilient mindset in the face of life's challenges. Modern Stoicism teaches us that peace and strength come from within, allowing us to remain centered no matter the situation. Practical steps to build emotional resilience include daily habits like journaling, meditation, and mindfulness. These practices help process emotions, reflect on experiences, and keep our minds clear. Taking time to pause during stressful moments helps regain perspective and avoid being swept up by reactive emotions. Another helpful practice is facing small challenges head-on, such as tackling tasks we've been avoiding or engaging in difficult conversations with composure. These small victories build resilience, preparing us for larger challenges ahead. Emotional resilience is about acknowledging our emotions without letting them control us. By accepting our feelings and choosing how to respond, we cultivate the strength to move forward, no matter the obstacles. This is the essence of modern Stoicism, focusing on what we can control, learning from adversity and using each experience to grow stronger and wiser. Through this, we create a life of peace, strength, and fulfillment, steadfast in the face of life's inevitable challenges. Leave a comment with the phrase, "Resilience comes from within," to show that you're embracing and applying Stoic principles in your life. Share your thoughts on overcoming challenges and growing through adversity. Stronger lessons are on the way, so let's continue this journey together. Number 3, living with purpose and intention. Living with purpose and intention is essential for creating a meaningful life, yet it's something many of us struggle with in today's fast-paced world. We often get distracted, drifting through life without a clear direction, allowing external pressures and momentary desires to pull us away from what truly matters. Stoic secrets remind us that purpose isn't something to discover later in life. It's something we cultivate every day, through intentional actions. When we align our choices with our core values, we live a life of meaning, free from distractions. Have you ever asked yourself, what am I really working toward? Are your actions in harmony with your values, or are they shaped by external expectations? These questions help us refocus and begin living with purpose. Stoicism teaches that living intentionally means being mindful of how we use our time, energy, and resources. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of tasks, reacting to whatever comes next, without ever pausing to ask if it aligns with what we truly want from life. For example, if you're spending long hours on work that doesn't connect with your personal values or goals, it's time to take a step back. The Stoics emphasized reflection, evaluating whether our actions serve our higher purpose or distract us from it. Without intention, we waste precious moments, but when our actions align with our values, each decision becomes an opportunity for growth, leading us toward fulfillment and inner peace. Take the story of Lily, a young marketing professional. She had always been passionate about art, but her high-paying job left her feeling unfulfilled. Every day felt like a repeat of the last, and something was missing. After discovering Stoic philosophy, Lily realized she had been letting external pressures define her success instead of following her true values. So, she decided to change. She set small, intentional goals, such as taking painting classes on weekends, networking with artists, and pursuing freelance work. Slowly, Lily started building a life in alignment with her purpose. Her story teaches us that when we choose to live intentionally and focus on what truly matters, we create a path to deeper satisfaction. Think about your own life. How much of your time is spent on activities or obligations that don't serve your deeper goals? How often do you stop to reflect if your actions are aligned with your values? These questions help us shift our focus inward and begin to live with intention. Every decision, big or small, can bring you closer to your authentic self. This is one of the powerful Stoic secrets. Purpose is not something to find, it's something you create through deliberate action. Living with purpose isn't always easy, There will be setbacks, distractions, and moments of doubt, but by staying grounded in your values and regularly checking if your actions align with your deeper goals, you will develop a sense of peace, knowing you're on the right path. Every day is an opportunity to choose actions that reflect your true purpose, shaping a life that is fulfilling and meaningful. When you live intentionally, you stop reacting to life and begin creating the future you want. As you wrap up this journey through the Stoic principles, remember that the process of quiet elimination is a personal one, and it's in the small, deliberate steps you take every day that true growth happens. Think about it. What's one thing you could eliminate today to make space for more clarity, freedom, and peace in your life? Applying these Stoic secrets to your daily life can lead to profound, silent transformation, shaping a life that aligns with your deepest values. So, I encourage you to take action right now. Choose one small change and begin today. Share with us in the comments. What's one thing you're ready to eliminate in your life? Let's continue this conversation, share our growth, and inspire each other to create the peaceful, intentional lives we all deserve. Keep growing, keep letting go, and keep building a life that feels truly yours. Remember, peace and growth are within your control. Stay inspired and keep learning here at Stoic in Your Life.